Thursday morning, but who would have known it? Mobility number 47. I'm getting the number right. I'm actually cluing up to what number it is, but who cares? Right, we're getting into it. It's lower body focus today. You get your foam roller, everybody. Get your foam roller, and we're going to start on the hip flexor, working down to the quad. I'll come a bit closer so you can see. So where you're going to be putting it is right in the crease of the hips. So that meaty bit of muscle in there, your hip flexor, that's where we can get a grab of it. We're going to be starting there just below the hip bone. Get it on there, okay? You know the drill. I shouldn't need to explain this, but I will anyway, because I do it anyway. We're going to work along this area, down into the quad, but I want you to focus on this area first. So don't rush ahead and get down to the quad. That's going to be a separate one. We'll work on the foam roller mobilization, and then we're going to get ourselves into the stretch, the flexibility side. So I'm away back here, okay, so I can fit in the screen today. So what I want you to do is get on it, just below the pelvis, okay, just below the bone. And that's why I just showed you roughly, because as soon as you get on this, you'll know where to go. You're hunting for pain, aren't you? So get on it, just below the pelvis, and you'll find that you maybe just have to, you can see I'm now rolling away from you. So straight away, oft, okay, I'm sure you're going to find some pain and discomfort in there. Now with the position we're in, you have to be consciously thinking, relax. So the first part is find a bit of pain. For most people, hip flexors, jammed up tight because we sit too much, okay? These muscles become shortened, they become tight, they lose that elasticity. Skin doesn't quite glide easily over it. It just becomes all tacked down and horrible. So you've found your painful spot. Now you can get more weight on it by lifting that leg up. Okay, and remember what I'm always telling you, get on the dead center of the pain, not off to the side where it's a little bit more bearable. All we're trying to do is just, you can wiggle, rock side to side. Now if you're getting a lot of pain in there, you know you've got a lot of work to do in there, okay, and I'm pretty sure most of us are. So remember, we're working on that hip flexor, crease of the hip. Don't venture down into the quads. So now I've been on there a fair bit. I've got a fair bit of weight, I won't lie to you. For me, it's nastier than I thought it would be, okay? Now, what we can start doing is contracting and relaxing. And you know, you have to work out how to contract that muscle for yourself, okay? It's your brain, it's your coordination, it's your own motor skills. You need to work out how to contract that. For most people, I would say, try to imagine you're at the top of a glute bridge, squeeze the butt, and you'll probably find that the hip flexors also contract. Now, this is going to be a 2 minute per side rule, okay? This is where we're really doing the 2 minute per side, because this isn't a dedicated hip flexor quad mobilization session. This is full lower body. So what I want you to do for the last 30 seconds is start lifting up that leg, moving it around, and just trying, while holding that horrible spot, do anything you can do. Okay, try maybe lifting the knee up and back and forward. Anything you can do to try and smash it that bit more and just floss around the area that you're holding. Okay, and again, 2 minutes on each side. That's probably enough time for most people to work on one sore spot, okay, one problem area. Nasty, nasty. Last 10 seconds, just use it. Use the whole area. Roll around side to side, up and down. I want you just to explore the full crease of the hips now, so that next time you can come back and you know exactly what work you need to do and where. So you can get an idea of just how bad it is. Now I'm going to change legs, okay? So again, I'm in the crease of the hip. There's no right or wrong place to go. Just get on the crease of the hip, below the pelvis. So I'm on there, and now you can see I'm on my side. Roll backwards and forward, well, side to side probably makes more sense. Side to side until you find hurt, okay? Until you find pain. When you find pain, explore around the vicinity of the pain, find the dead center of the pain, as in the worst spot where it's feeling real bad, okay? Then, what am I doing? Oh, I'm going to try and focus on my breathing. Try and relax, okay? And with that, putting more weight on is going to make it worse, okay? But that's what we want. You know the drill. But now, this is way worse than I thought it was going to be. Quite clearly, we're going to need to make this a dedicated one. Okay, so again, I might be up on my feet all day. Nature of the job. However, I'm still sat down a lot. You add up all the times you're sat down. You're sat down when you're driving, okay? Unless you're Fred Flintstone. You're sat down when you're eating dinner, you're sat down at night, you're sat down for a lot the time, even if you're not actively a desk job type person, okay? And what happens when we're sat down is these hip flexors become shortened because our legs are up, okay? They become shortened, but they relax into that shortened state. So our brain kind of thinks, so this is normal, this is the way they should be. So then when we try to straighten them and straighten out the leg, we lack that range, okay? So you're doing things like a kettlebell swing, for example. I'm trying to compare it to work that we do in a circuit, and I'm telling you to squeeze the button, fully extend, lock out the hips, that hip snap. If your hip flexors are tight and your glutes are weak, there's more than one variable, then you're going to struggle to fully extend the hips and fully lock out, which is in turn, it's going to make you weaker, but it's going to put more strain and more likelihood on your back, your lower back, going into overextension. Okay, so last little bit now, I want you just side to side, up and down, explore the realms of the hip flexor, or the exposed area that we can get into at least, and just find out all the little nooks and crannies and pain that you need to work on. Right, we're done on that side, everybody. Now we're going to do our couch stretch. So now that we've smashed those hip flexors, okay, hopefully restored a bit of suppleness to at least one problem area on each side, we're now going to get the sofa stretch in. So I'm going to grab myself another mat. If you've got pain in your knee or your knee is uncomfortable doing this one, it shouldn't be, okay? There's no reason for it to be. So this is my sofa, my couch, my bench, my coffee table, whatever, the wall, it works with a wall. All I'm going to do is get down, get that foot elevated, okay? Beauty of it is, if you are doing it in your living room, all you need is a cushion. I'm sure you've got a cushion on your lovely plush sofa. Get the foot up, try to get the knee directly underneath the foot. So you can see there that my shin is pretty much vertical. Do not make it easy for yourself by having it out at 45 degrees. It defeats the purpose here. Okay, so I'm trying to get my knee nice and close with reason, okay? Get yourself into this position now. So get that leg forward into a nice big lunge. Then I want you to try and get your hand, well, don't try, get your hands on the ground first, flat. And I want you, the reason we're doing this is so you can try and centralize yourself in your pelvis. Because if you are pretty tight, you'll find that you're leaning off to the side that we're stretching, and we're trying to avoid that, okay? We're trying to mobilize ourselves the way we're meant to move. Now, what you're going to see me doing, what I want you to start doing, is start bringing your body vertical, but do it gradually. If you're in the position I'm in now and you're feeling a hell of a stretch in at the hip flexor area, good. You focus on trying to get better at that. If, however, you're not feeling it yet, I want you to keep coming up vertical. It's a good idea, everybody, now, to put a hand flat on your stomach and a hand flat on your lower back. What we mustn't do now is go back, feel a stretch there, keep going back, and then look like me. Okay, if you start to feel that lower back inward, okay, that's us getting into overextension. That's not good, okay, we don't want that. That's now putting a lot of strain on my lower back. Our pelvis is now tilted back. So what I want you to do is take it to the point you start to feel that stretch, and to enhance the stretch, rather than lean back into overextension, squeeze. Oof, you feeling that now? Squeeze the butt cheeks, almost like you're at the top of a glute bridge while trying to push the pelvis through. And you'll feel that anywhere from the hip flexor running down into the rib, down into the pelvis, running down into the quads. So if your quads are pretty tight, which I'm happy to say mine are, okay, I'm feeling this a lot in the quads, especially down towards the knee. A lot of tightness in there for me. Everybody's different though. Trying again to make sure as you're stretching this out actively, you're keeping the pelvis balanced, okay? You don't want to be pulled off to the side like this, okay? And have the pelvis sitting at a corner tilt. Keep it nice and as balanced as you can while pushing forward. We're trying to reset ourselves and mobilize ourselves into good posture as well, okay? So don't be leaning off to the side. Try your best to push yourself through and keep that balance. Okay, we're going to hold this for about another 30 seconds. So it's up to you to be proactive. If you're holding it and it feels uncomfortable, but you know you could take it further, okay? It's kind of the whole point. We're trying to get better. Push through, squeeze through with the butt, and you should feel, well, you will feel a damn good stretch. And here's this sunshine coming in to ruin my day again. So you probably think, oh, it's all nice and well, the sunshine's coming in. I'm not complaining about the sunshine, but what happens is, it overexposes me on the camera. So when I'm doing the edit, I just look like a white blob. It looks like I've got an aura around me. And some might say I do naturally, but too much, okay? So I'm not moaning about the weather because I love the sunshine. It makes me happy. One of the few things in life. So I'm going to change legs. So that's why it's the camera. Because it's pretty dark in here at the best of times. So I have to turn the sensitivity settings up on the camera to make up for that because I've not splashed out on plush studio lighting yet. Okay, we're going to wait, holding off on that one. So I'm pushing forwards. Remember, try and get that knee nice and close to the wall. This knee, this knee, this knee, this knee. This knee nice and close to the wall. Okay, it doesn't really work if it's too far out, but you obviously have to work within reason of what you're using. So I'm trying to stay relaxed, even although this is pretty uncomfortable. Now this is where you might find that one side is severely tighter than the other. Okay, not normal. I'm certainly not normal. And I'm feeling that. So I'm pushing through with the hips, squeezing the butt, damn good stretch. It's very easy to look at me and just think, ooh, do. This is uncomfortable, okay? I'm almost borderline sweating, okay? Pushing through, it's very uncomfortable. But as always, I'm trying to keep myself relaxed. If I'm all tensed up here, you know, like this, I'm not going to be as relaxed down there, getting the best from it. So please, don't just be holding this, and I say it every flexibility session we do, don't just be holding it thinking this is all right. Push through it, get something out of it. It's not enough if you're just holding it there thinking about everything else. You have to be thinking about the stretch, okay? It's uncomfortable. It will be dominating your head. It should be dominating your thoughts because it's uncomfortable. Shouldn't be a case of, oh, it's a slight stretch and you're planning out the rest of your life while you do this stretch. Okay, we're going to come out of that. Everybody, walk around. Shake out. Right, next one, quads. Quads, same effect, okay? This time, I want you to start just above the knee. So, foam roller on, just above the kneecap, on the meaty part of the muscle. Now, probably better you get into the elbow plank position. And all I want you to do, don't roll back and forwards, okay? That might feel, oh, you know, that's pretty nasty, that's doing something. No. Just above the kneecap, start going side to side. Okay, and pretty certain for most people, you're going to start finding painful spots in and around there. If, okay, a heavy hint is coming at you now, if you've got a spot on your quad that you're finding there's a lot of kind of pain, discomfort, a niggle, or maybe a pull or something going on, bypass this and get straight to it, okay? So if you're finding a wee bit of pain further up here, yep, yes, then you go there now, okay? So side to side. Side to side. I don't know what you're saying. 1, 2, 2. God, just unmute yourself.
Have you got both legs on?
Oh, no. Just one. Just one. That was a valid question. So on live, we like valid questions because chances are if you're thinking it, someone else is. So I do apologise from this perspective. It's one leg on, okay, and all you're trying to do, side to side, okay, side to side, you find a spot that's bloody sore, okay, and you hold that spot. Usual stuff, so wait till I find mine. There's a few wee sore spots, but I'm going to find a brute. I want you to find the brute, okay, the one that's the worst. You're going to find a few niggles. We ain't got time for that today, okay, you can do that in your own time. I want you to find where the Brutus Maximus is. Okay, so you'll probably find most of that's around the knee. So there we go, boom, I'm on it. So I'm pushing down onto it, pretty awful. Oh, in fact, it's really awful. In fact, I've broken into a sweat now, more so if I was doing a hit. So I'm trying to relax everybody. Now, if you look at me, how do we smash and floss? For those who've done the quad session, which we've done not that long ago, you'll remember, but to do the smash and floss, I'm holding that spot, putting all the pressure on, and this is where you're probably going to be sick or possibly pass out. I want you to keep relaxed on that dead spot, and then I want you to lift this leg up. So I want you to flex the knee, and then straighten the knee, and do your best. If that really is a painful spot and you start doing that, oh aye. That'll test your marbles, everybody. So it's pretty nasty, but then it has to be. So don't wince as much as you can bear on that foam roller. Trying your best to keep that muscle relaxed. And just make sure you stay on that dead center. You might find yourself, so see if you find yourself in a bit of a stress position here. Okay, you might find yourself holding like a plank, your core's engaged, that's fine. As long as the quads are relaxed and we're putting the work into the quads, okay, because what we can't be doing is lying like this, okay, with our back and overextension, just kind of chilling out. Oh, it's, you know, stretching and flexibility is supposed to be nice and chilled. Yeah, think again. Think again. As the sweat drips off my nose, the pain sweats, as they're referred to. But my face is always smiling, everybody, okay? Don't have a pain face with this. Trying to stay relaxed. Okay, now I'm going to change legs. So it is flexibility work. This morning's focus on a Thursday usually, but I thought, what the heck? Let's combine it all together. It's lower body, we'll fly through it. Had it been a dedicated quad session, so I'm changing legs. Start at the knee, or if you know you've got a problem area, straight on it. Had it been a dedicated quads, we'd obviously spent a lot longer, giving you a lot more time to get stuck into it. So all I want you to do, start at the knee, side to side, unless of course, like I say, you've got a problem area. So a lot of people have problem areas and they don't think for a second to do this stuff. Okay, so it's the first protocol. If you feel a little niggle-like pain, get stuck into that area with your foam roller. But remember this is an important message to anybody listening out there. If you've got a problem area, don't just focus, obviously yes, focus a good bit of time on the problem area, where the pain is or where the problem is, but don't forget upstream, downstream, possibly the side of it as well, depending on where it is. So if it is your quad, look at the hip flexor. Okay, look at the hip flexor, that's upstream. Look further down, maybe even the calf, maybe even round back into the hamstrings. Okay, in at the adductors. Focus on the areas surrounding it as well. And try and put some work into the surrounding area. So when you're ready and you're holding that pressure spot, do it in your own time. Don't wait for me to be telling you. Start the smashing and flossing. Okay. The contract, relax, the pressure. We're 3 techniques, okay? Don't wait for me to tell you. You work the system out, get the pressure on it, and relax. Right, everybody, quad stretch time. So quad stretch is pretty simple. I would like you to stand up for this one, okay? You can do it on the floor, but quite often or not, we just don't do it right or to the effect on the floor. So I want you to lean against something if you can. If you can't see me, well, you can see me now. So before you disappear, all I want you to do is grab a hold of where your laces are tied, pull your knees together, and then just like the hip flexor stretch on the couch, push through with the hips. Okay, now I say lean against something. You can lean against something or hold something. It's because, you know, you might think, oh, my balance is great. You'll end up thinking more about trying to keep your balance than actually focusing on a good stretch here. So make it easier for yourself. So I've got my knees squeezed together. I'm pulling that foot into my butt, and I can feel that my hips aren't locked out. So to enhance that stretch, push the hips through while pulling that knee, sorry, not the knee, the foot into your butt. Okay, so they're working against each other. Stretching out and lengthening out the quads. Okay, so this is probably the one stretch where you have to actively focus from start to finish on pushing through with those hips. Because it's very easy. If you even so much as let your mind wander or ease off this one, you're really wasting time on it. You get a lot out of this one, but you have to really go for it. Squeeze the butt, push through with the hips, lock those hips out. So far, we've got stuck in to the hip flexors and the quads. Now, it is a full lower body session to some degree. So on that note, as always, if you've found a problem area, or you think, I need more work on that, do that in your own time. 2 minutes, foam rolling, with a bit of stretching on that area after is all you need. 2 minutes each side, each leg, each arm. And I'll always recommend, you know, if you are going to do one, if you've got a problem area on one leg, for example, and you don't on the other, Still do the other. Still put the same work in to the other leg. Don't just foam roll and stretch out one leg or one arm or one side of your back. You know, share the love between the other side. Right, relax there, shake out. Okay, let the blood flow. And then we're going to change arms. Legs. Grab a hold of the feet. Foot. Jeez, oh. Right, grab a hold of the foot where the laces are tied, not the toes. Don't hold the toes. Laces are tied. Pull that foot in, knees together, pull the foot in again, then push the hips through just to make sure you're getting a damn good stretch. And again, please focus on holding something for balance. It's all well and fair saying that you've got good balance, but I don't care. It's not about that. It's about getting the best possible stretch you can. If you're easing in and out of this constantly, again, you're not really getting much. We need to be holding this long enough for change to occur at the max. And that's why you need to concentrate a lot on this one to make sure that you are pushing through. Are your glutes getting tired a wee bit? Yes, of course. You're pushing through. You're probably contracting your glutes to keep the hips locked out. And that's fine, okay? Some people get a little bit shocked when they start breaking a sweat or they start feeling like they're a little bit uncomfortable, muscles burning when they're doing mobility work. It kind of comes hand in hand. We have to work some of these movements to get the most out of them. So really focus again, pushing through with those hips, pulling that foot in and keeping the knees in line with each other, close together. So that's us done down the front end of the legs. Now we're going to get stuck in, literally, to the rear end. Going to get your butt done now. Let's get the glutes. So walk it out, get a drink of water if you need one. And for this next part, you're going to need the lacrosse ball, okay? You're going to need your lacrosse ball or whatever it is you use. If you've got a spiky one, have a go at it. You know, there's no right or wrong. I'm telling you, lacrosse ball, if you've got a vast array of different tools, it's got to be a hard one though. A hard ball, do not get your double ball nonsense in there, okay? Because it's just not going to work. So bench, sofa, coffee table, feet elevated, nice and close to it, lying back, chilling out. Get the ball, and what I want you to do, or in fact I better show you actually, I'm just taking it for granted that everybody knows. We're going to do the glutes, okay? Not the upper glutes, so you've got your pelvis, which you'll feel here. I want you to stay away from that area and actually just work on the whole butt, okay? So see if you go to slap your own, you don't do it on live, I'll get accused of things. If you were to go and grab a hold of your own butt cheek, that area is what we're going to be working on. Don't need to worry about where or what one to put it on or what muscle group. Sit on the ball, get the weight on it, explore around. You won't have to go too far, you're going to find pain. As soon as you find pain, you've hit jackpot, okay? So, for me personally, I can just pretty much put it there, set it on it, oh, disgusting pain, okay? So I want you to, I'm fast forwarding myself here just so you can see, roll around, oh, there's a bit of pain. Because we don't have the luxury of time, as in not that I'm rushing this, but we're not spending time dedicated to the glutes here, okay? So I want you to try and find the worst area, spot you can find. So I think I kind of found one around there. Where is it again? Ooh, aye, there it is. So I've found it. Okay, so now what am I doing? I'm getting all my weight down. You might have to lean off to the side a little bit to get right in that spot, that's fine. And then all it is a matter of positioning your body the best way you can to get as much weight down on that as you can. Make sure you're not overextending the back. Okay, I talk about that now. Most people are following along with this as we go. So I've been talking a lot about overextending the back because we've got the pelvis is in theory elevated, even though it's just a small ball, it's still elevated. So there is scope for your lower back to start going into overextension, to start getting that inward curve in my lower back. We don't want that. So you might have to just activate the core a wee bit. So when you prod yourself in the stomach, you should feel a slight bit of tension running through there. Now, I'm on the sweet spot. It's sore, it's uncomfortable. If it's that uncomfortable, if you've truly found that real spot of pain and discomfort, everybody, make sure you're completely relaxing the glutes. I want you to imagine that this ball has just been sunk in and the muscles now wrapping around it. okay? And give it a wee wiggle side to side, just to make sure that you're still, oh, I see, because sometimes you find that you're not quite on the dead center, even though you think you are, of that pain. So I've been lying here a wee bit now, pretty uncomfortable, okay? It's pretty nasty, but it's expected. Now what I want you to do, squeeze the butt, relax, hit. Okay, squeeze the butt, relax, hit. Off and on that pressure spot. So I'm holding the same spot, but when I contract the butt and I relax onto it, it sinks in even more. I get even more weight on it. It's pretty nasty, okay? So that's going to help as well. Break up that tissue. That's all I'm trying to do here, okay? I've got tied up, knotted up muscle tissue, okay? All I'm doing here is trying to break it up. So if you think about that, it becomes pretty easy what I'm trying to do. How do I break it up? All I'm doing here is I'm crushing the muscle between the lacrosse ball and the bone, okay? So I'm crushing it in there and I'm just trying to grind it up to break up the tissue. That's what I'm doing. So if you visualize that, that might help. Now to smash and floss, the smash and floss is usually the bit where you'll start to feel sick or, I don't know, like you just don't feel well. To do it on this one, stay on your spot, now pull the knee up. Okay, so I want you to bring the knee up towards the chest. You can pull it in if you like, but what you must make sure you do is you don't roll off that ball. Okay, so you should feel the muscle lengthen out while jamming on that spot. Jamming, man. Okay, and then lock it out. And there's no right or wrong now. You can see I'm pretty limited because of this bench, but maybe if you're using a chair, while holding that spot, lift it up, pull it out, almost like you're trying to do breaststroke with your leg on one side, okay? And I'm pretty limited with this bench, I won't lie. It would be better if I could get my leg underneath it, but I can't really. Okay, now I'm going to change sides, okay? So I'm not going to stand up. That's us spent a good few minutes on one side. So I'm just going straight onto the other. Again, the generic butt cheek. The glutes themselves, just sit on it, roll around the whole area. Oh, there's a sore spot. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, that one's pretty brutal. Find a worse one for this instance, okay? Find the worst bit of pain you can find in there. Don't take all day doing it. Shouldn't have to. Once you find a bit of pain and tenderness, wiggle around, get on the dead center, shift your body so that you're getting as much weight on there as you can. So you might need to lean over to the side. So I'm on my left butt cheek. I might need to lean and tilt my body over to the right a little bit more to get right onto it. Yep, I'm on that spot and it's awful. So straight away, this first phase is just trying to get as much weight on it as I can. Pretty horrible. Just lying on it. But again, if it's sore, if it's that uncomfortable, everyone, you might not even realize it, but those glutes might not be fully relaxed. Okay, you might find that they're tensed and you don't even realize it just because they don't want you to fully relax onto that pain. Okay, so if you do feel that, focus on your breathing. Just imagine that ball sinking in and the muscle tissue is wrapping around it. Get the weight down on it. Don't be waiting for me to tell you. Said that already. Don't be waiting for me to tell you to now go into contracting and relaxing. We're all going to be hitting this at different stages. Once you feel you're fully relaxed on that ball and you've got as much weight down on it as you can, just have a wee wiggle and confirm that you are indeed on the dead center of the pain and discomfort, that knotted up area. Once you are, contract, relax. Squeeze the butt, relax. And each time you relax, you should just feel that you might just be getting a bit more weight on it. Oof. But that contract, relax action is also helping grind up and break up that muscle tissue all the more, okay? Getting some fresh blood in there as well. Okay, break up that problem area. And when you're ready, of course, if you're not already doing so, pull the knee up. Lengthen out those glutes more. Open it up, close it up. Bring the knee up if you can, if you're able to. Oh, take it out to the side. And I just want you to realize that think freely, okay? Think freely with this stuff. It's not complicated. Find a knotted up area. If you move your body in a certain way that gets more pressure or helps break up that muscle tissue, okay, that's right, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no set angle you must move your leg. Okay, you don't have to bring the knee up to the chest. Take it out to the side. Move it around. It doesn't matter. Okay, right, we're done on that. Right, time for the nasty one, everybody. We're going to throw ourselves straight in to a good old glute stretch, the classic. You ready for it? Right, leg out in front, 90 degrees, 90-degree bend. You can see that pretty easy, it doesn't matter what leg. Throw the back one. You're trying to get a 90-degree bend in that too, but throw it far behind you as you can. Throw it as far behind you as you can. Then I want you to pin the front foot with the hand. Pin that foot down with this hand out in front. Get up on top. So first of all, I want you to try and get up on top of it as if, I don't know, you're trying to do a press up almost. And then bring that knee back down. Trying to keep the knee down. Maneuver your body so that you're nice and central over this front leg, as you can see here. Depending on if you get bad knees with this, as in you feel pain in the knee, you might just be jammed up that tight. I don't want you to feel pain in the knee, anyone. So don't push it to the limit if you're getting knee pain. If, however, you're not, and it just feels real tight, get on it, get stuck into it. Okay, so this is the area we're trying to stretch out. You're going to feel it in the hip capsule, you're going to feel it in the glutes, you might feel it down into the IT band area. All I'm doing here is if you are jammed up pretty tight, you're going to find yourself fighting this. Your body's going to be tensing up. This foot's going to be trying to drive into the ground to stop this relaxing fully. So your job and everybody's job right now is just to try and imagine the hip sinking into the ground. Focus on your breathing and just try to relax every muscle group in your body type thing. Okay, so just trying to relax. Think about the area. You know the area we're trying to work on because you can feel it right now. It's uncomfortable. Okay, it's getting a stretch out. So that's the area that you're trying to relax. And hopefully you're feeling that. Now, if you feel that you're holding the position I'm holding now and you could go further, it's just a case of drop down onto the elbows. The purpose of this is we're getting more weight on this leg now. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm getting more weight on the leg. So I want you to think about pushing the body down onto that leg more to help stretch all this out. Okay, all that hip area out. Now, some people, this might be the worst stretch they could get. You know, I ain't enjoying myself, I won't lie, it's pretty horrible. However, it's a very important stretch. We're getting a lot from it. So I urge you that if you are finding it uncomfortable and pretty not pleasant, I will go with that. If you're finding it pretty not pleasant, all the more reason to try and work through it. Okay, I appreciate some people might be really uncomfortable in this one. And while you're down there, you can see me fidgeting. I'm holding that stretch. I'm never easing off. And I'm not fidgeting. I'm just trying to move around, mobilise myself within this stretch, looking for pockets of tightness. Good. And then relax out of this one, okay? If you need to stand up, stand up. But again, we've got a lot to get through this morning. So just simply change legs. I'll talk you through it again. So I'm throwing my right leg out to the front now, because I just done the left. Throw my left leg right behind me, as far as I can back behind me, and straight away I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pressure on this side already. Straight in at that hip before I've even brought my body around on top of it. So now I'm going to get up on top, and then bring that knee back down. When you bring the knee back down, that's where we're trying our best to keep this 90-degree bend. Okay, we don't want the knee to come forward or the foot to come back, because if that happens, that's you losing the glute stretch, okay? So up on top, and that's why we pin the foot. You might not need to pin the foot if you're mobile, but if you're not mobile, oh, you'll feel it. Oh, you'll definitely feel it. So this side for me is very tight, so just holding this position